Welcome everybody to this very important event today. We are particularly honored to have with us Senator Harry Reid, who is just joining us. I think as many of you know, Senator Reid has been an extraordinary champion of women and girls. As early as 1996, he sponsored legislation on these issues and has been a passionate advocate throughout his career here. So really, Senator Reid, you inspire us, you inspired us today, and we're very honored to have you here with us. I'm also very pleased to welcome Senator Reid here to USIP because he's been a longtime friend and supporter of U.S. Institute of Peace. And in fact, U.S. Institute of Peace was founded by Congress 32 years ago, really dedicated to the proposition that peace is possible, it's practical, and it's absolutely essential for our global and national security. And USIP pursues a mission of a world without violent conflict by working with partners, individuals, organizations, governments in areas that are affected by conflict to give them the kind of tools, information, and training that helps them to manage conflict so that it doesn't become violent and to resolve it than it does. And today we're gathered here about a particular and very virulent form of violence, and with the shared commitment to ending violence against girls and looking at strategies that might end female genital mutilation and cutting, or FGMC. This goal to end FGMC was enshrined in the new UN Global Goals, a very specific indicator under Goal 5 for gender equity. So this has already been agreed to by nations around the world, that we will eliminate the FGMC by 2030. But we have a lot of work to do. More than 200 million women and girls across 30 different countries still are living with complications from FGMC. And we know that although there's been a lot of progress in legal, community health, and educational approaches, too many girls continue to live with the very profound impact of this practice, and they have lifelong physical, often psychological impacts, and too many lose their lives. So today, we will hear from a number of global experts talking about how can we better address what is a very complicated and contested sociocultural practice, and what is the research, what are the resources that might help us change the story for millions of girls around the world. And to get us started, I'm very pleased to welcome Ambassador Catherine Russell and welcome her back to USIP. As the U.S. Ambassador at Large for Global Women's Issues, Ambassador Russell is the perfect person to get us started. She's the leader of the State Department's efforts to advance gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls worldwide. She's focused on addressing gender-based issues and gender-based violence, promoting women's full participation in society, investing in adolescent girls, and making sure that women's issues are a part of our foreign policy. Prior to this position, Ambassador Russell was the Deputy Assistant to the President and Chief of Staff to the Second Lady, Dr. Jill Biden. And throughout her time at the White House, she coordinated the development of the administration's strategy to prevent and respond to gender-based violence globally. So we are absolutely delighted to have Ambassador Russell with her passion and her commitment to these issues. Please join me in welcoming her.
Thank you so much, Nancy. It's nice to see you. It's always great to come over here. At the State Department, we say that USIP is the best neighbor we could possibly have, and that's certainly even more the case now that Nancy's here, and we're delighted to partner. I also have to just say a moment of thanks to Senator Reid, who has been just an incredible advocate on this issue. And at some points, you know, I used to work in Capitol Hill as a staffer when I was young, and you have a different perspective of Congress when you're working there and then when you're in the executive branch. I think here, Senator Reid has been incredibly important in our sort of focusing on this issue of FGM and prodding us. He had GAO do an assessment of what the government was doing on this issue. So everybody scurries around and tries to get the answers. That was tremendously helpful, Senator. So I really want to thank you very much for that leadership. It's made a huge difference, and it honestly wouldn't be.
Hello and welcome to another episode of your Human Service News and Information. I'm Hasson, Rashid, your host, and I'll be here with you for approximately 20 more minutes. Okay, I guess you're wondering about that opening video. That was the video from the, I think that was 2016 International Summit on Female Genital Mutilation. Okay, we're going to try to get back to the video if time permits before the broadcast ends today. And I want to especially tell you a little bit something about the new law, female genital law that's out, and the first the first case for that law is up in Michigan. And I'll tell you about that as soon as I share these things with you. Okay, CCTV's annual meeting was a big success. You should have been there. It was a great event, and I'm sorry that we didn't see more of you there out for it, but it was wall-to-wall people, wall-to-wall participants in attendance was at this meeting. But what I want to tell you particular about this meeting, that CCTV that night released its strategic plan, okay? Strategic plan for, I think these, for I guess about 5 years from now. Each strategic plans last about 5 years. They're planned for, set up for about 5 years to last. But anyway, the strategic plan was revealed, and if you would like a copy of the strategic plan, CCTV strategic plan, you come on in right here at 438 Massachusetts and request a copy. And I'm sure there's only a limited amount, but that was what was said at the event, that there was only a limited amount to be issued, but perhaps just still some copies available. So I advise you to come in and pick up a copy of CCTV's new strategic plan, 438 Massachusetts Avenue, or you can call about it, 617-661-6900. Okay, that's CCTV. Walk right on in and request your copy of CCTV's strategic plan. And also, there's the Open Studio. That's the CCTV's newsletter. It's a 4-month newsletter, and everything that will be happening, just about everything that will be happening here at CCTV from this month until about June, you can find it right here in Open Studio. So you come on in and pick up your copy of Open Studio, CCTV's newsletter. We're at 438 Massachusetts Avenue. Okay, one more thing about CCTV. The Women's in Journalism course is coming up pretty soon. That's coming up on May 8th, 2017, time 6 to 9 p.m. And I think there's still time to register for that course, so you can check it by calling Keaton Fox at 617-661-6900, or Keaton at email Keaton at cctvcambridge.org. Okay, that's Women in Journalism. You don't want to miss that one, a free seminar. So you come on in and learn all about our women folks as they participate in the field of journalism. Okay, I'm Hasson Rashid. You know, it's excellent being here with you, and it's such an awful great achievement to come into your lives like we do here daily at CCTV. So I greet you once again with the cordial of peace, and it's awful excellent being here with you once again. Okay, okay, this is the SNAP program. That's the SNAP. That's the former food stamp program. So if you would like to find out if you qualify for SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly food stamps, you can go to the CEOC. That's the Community Economic Council. Okay, I think that's right, 11 Edmund Street. Or you can call them at 617-868-2900 for more information on how you or someone you know can get help paying for food each month. So you don't want to pass that up if you need help with food. That's a godsend. That's the SNAP program. Once again, SNAP food stamp applications are available at CEOC 11 Edmund Street, and so you can please call 617-868-2900 for more information. Okay, I want to tell you one more thing about Cambridge here right now. That's a film and discussion. That's a film entitled Fences, starring Denzel Washington and Troy Mex. Okay, McKinley Henderson, Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, Stephen McKinley Henderson. Okay, so this is a film and discussion, and this film is available now at the Cambridge Senior Center, 806 Massachusetts Avenue, and for this program, there are free showing of this film, and the program is for seniors over 60 years old. The film is set in 1950s Pittsburgh. The film adaptation of August Wilson's Pulitzer Prize winning play takes a passionate look at former baseball player Troy Mason as he fights to provide for those he loves in a world that threatens to push him down, starring Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, Stephen McKinley Henderson. So if you're 60 years old and you want to see a film, that film will be available Tuesday, May 23rd, 2017, 12:30 to 3 p.m. So be there sharp at 12:30 if you want to see this film, Fences, starring Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, McKinley, Stephen McKinley Henderson, and the film runs 2 hours and 18 minutes. So, and also light refreshments will be served. Once again, these programs for seniors 60 plus. Cambridge Senior Center, 806 Massachusetts Avenue, Cambridge, Massachusetts. So if you'd like additional information, you want to call, you can call 617-349-6060 and inquire about this film. If you're 60 and older, if you need help getting over to the Senior Center, you call them and they'll arrange for you to come out, transportation for you to come out and observe this film. That's a program for seniors 60 plus, Cambridge Senior Center, 806 Massachusetts Avenue, Cambridge, Mass. 617-349-6060. And the film is entitled, once again, Fences, starring Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, and Stephen McKinley Henderson. Okay, I want to tell you this. Okay, it finally happened. And all along here at let's get us back on the air. Okay, we're gonna try to get back to the film though. That's a great speaker. Anyway, okay, the film, not the film. Okay, for female genital mutilations. Breaking first female genital mutilation prosecution in the U.S. That's the first prosecution. A Michigan doctor first to be charged under federal I was telling you about that new law, the federal anti-female genital mutilation law, the anti-FGM law. So they apprehended a doctor over in Michigan. And okay, I'm gonna read you a little bit about what happened over there. Okay, we are not surprised but encouraged to see the U.S. Department of Justice prioritize their efforts around doctors performing female genital mutilation and arresting doctors involved in performing female genital mutilation. That's FGM. This case is raising much needed awareness that FGM is illegal. Directors of Equality Now for America's office, Shelley Quace. Okay, so Dr. Jumana Nargawala will appear in court, I think that's this Thursday, after being arrested last month for allegedly performing female genital mutilation, FGM, on 2 7-year-old girls in Michigan. Dr. Nargawala, along with another doctor and his wife, are the first physicians to be charged under the U.S. federal law that criminalizes FGM. FGM is a global issue. More than 200 million women and girls around the world today have undergone some form of FGM in the U.S. alone. 513,000 women and girls have experienced or are at risk of FGM. Okay, so in an effort to further address this brutal form of violence, Equally Now, Safe Hands for Girls, the United States Institute of Peace, and the UN Network to End FGM recently released a report from the first ever U.S. End Violence Against Girls Summit. Okay, so that was the video that opened the show. That was a video of the End Violence Against Girls Summit. That's FGM. International FGM Summit. The report details recommendations that were developed by 250 thought leaders during the summit. The best practices address a multi-sectorial approach to ending female genital mutilation and for supporting survivors across the United States, from law enforcement to the healthcare sector. It's crucial that the U.S. does more to protect all girls from all forms of child abuse, including female genital mutilations. Okay, so the year is still young, And you can definitely expect to hear more about FGM right here at your Human Service News and Information broadcast with the Hasson Rashid. So I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I just want to stay focused on this very important issue of female genital mutilation. So we're going to let the video instruct you or entertain you or inform you more about what's going on with the issues on female genital mutilations. Okay?
We wouldn't be where we are if you hadn't done that, so thank you so much. I'd also really like to thank the organizers, Shelby and Jaha, both of whom I've worked with before. It's so nice to see them both here. It's almost hard to believe that this is the first U.S. Civil Society Summit on FGMC, and because after all, I'm going to quote Prime Minister Trudeau, who said, "It is 2016, right? It's kind of shocking that it's taking us so long to get this done." We need to be on top of this issue, and there are many others that are just like it that hold back the progress on women and girls that we're advocating for so aggressively around the world. The fact is that this summit, as the first of its kind, speaks to some of the challenges we're facing tackling this issue. In the communities where the problem occurs around the world, silence is too often deafening. As I've seen firsthand in the many countries I've traveled to over the last few years, and this group knows better than most how difficult it is to break that silence. Yet we have seen some progress, and that's because of people like Jaha and people like Shelby and like the rest of you who take an interest in it. So on behalf of the United States, I'd like to thank the many groups, particularly the survivors, who have worked tirelessly to end this practice both here and around the world. I'm here today to say one thing, and that's to please keep it up. You are making a difference through your work. Policymakers are paying attention, as I said, and other survivors are finding the support and the community that they need to have the courage to come out and talk about this. The silence is slowly receding. It's receding in Egypt, where local theater performances are using humor to spark conversations among families and communities. It's receding in Indonesia, where universities are researching the practice to make policy recommendations. It's receding in the Bohra communities in India, where, honestly, I didn't even know it was happening until I have the most wonderful person who's working on my team who is a part of that community and has informed all of us at the State Department about what's happening. And it's really given people in that community a platform to speak out. And it's receding here in the United States, thanks in no small part, as I said, to people like Senator Reid. But we know that while the silence may be receding, the practice itself is not. In the past year, UNICEF's estimate of how many women and girls have undergone this practice jumped from 70 million to 200 million, which was obviously shocking to everybody who saw those numbers. And that was a result of huge swaths of places where we didn't know it was happening, primarily in Indonesia. And that news comes despite the documented declines in high prevalence countries like Egypt. So we are up against population growth and other factors that are increasing the number of women and girls who are at risk. That's a sort of sobering reality that should give everyone a sense of urgency.
Okay, sorry about that. Excuse me for interrupting, but we're going to try to get back to that video. But right now, I'd like to bring to your attention the fact that fair housing is not an option; it's the law. Okay, the Massachusetts Fair Housing Center is seeking well-organized individuals of diverse backgrounds to help us prevent housing discrimination. We pay. That's the Mass Fair Housing Center. They pay $60 per investigation and $75 after 5 successful investigations plus mileage. Fair housing is not an option. It's the law. Discrimination says they can't be neighbors. Okay, the law says they can. The work is per diem. The hours are flexible and can conform to your schedule. That's the Massachusetts Fair Housing Center provides the training. To apply, send cover letters and resume resumes to info@massfairhousing.org. Once again, you send your cover letters and resumes to info@massfairhousing.org or by mail to testing coordinator, Massachusetts Fair Housing Center, 57 Suffolk Street, Holyoke, Mass. Okay, and you can also call 413-539-9796. So I guess the correct word that they use over there at the Massachusetts Fair Housing Center located in Buffalo. I mean, not Buffalo, but Boston. This is Holyoke branch. And I guess it's all the same thing statewide. But again, they call it becoming a tester, investigator. And that's the person who goes out and investigate complaints filed with the Mass Fair Housing Center of discrimination. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 413-5399-96. And once again, don't forget now, CCTV's Women in Journalism free seminar. That's Monday, May 8th, 6 to 9 p.m. So for additional information, you can call 617-661-6900. I'm Hasson Rashid. You know, it's always excellent being here with you. But until next time, I leave you with this, that superiorwism can never be subjected by inferiorism. So until next time, I leave you with the International Cordial of Peace.
In addressing this work. The UNICEF report also changed the map that we would look at. We were no longer talking about a handful of regions. We're talking about countries on almost every continent now, including the United States. Now more than ever, this is an issue that needs our attention. That's why the United States has made it a part of our foreign policy, and is also why we are proud to be part of a global movement to respond